Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I wanted to thank you all so much because I just reached and very much surpassed 170 subscribers on here. Thank you so much for that. And in this video, we'll be looking at some different paths for winter and Christmas, and I'm so excited. Now, I've chosen a few different ones. Not all of them are actually winter or Christmassy paths, but instead I also have some regular ones that you can use all throughout the year that I just thought were really cute in the winter time. Now, I've also chosen some for all the fairycore creators out there, and then of course we do have some very wintry and Christmassy ones, and we also do have some ice rings at the end. All the following clips were filmed over the course of a few days, which is why my outfit as well as some of the decorations slightly changed. I really hope that that's okay. And then I also have a very important disclaimer right at the beginning. I didn't actually make any of these paths. Instead, they were done by amazingly talented creators of the ACNH community. As far as that was possible, depending on where I found the codes, I did try to find the creators and also link them down below. So please go ahead, check out the description box and give all these creators lots and lots of love. And without further ado, let's go ahead and look at some of these beautiful creations. Okay, we are starting with the regular path that I've put down. Hi Deirdre. I am using two different versions. One of them has these slight details with the mushrooms and the other one is just the regular one. Basically, I just want you to see kind of how I put down the path, so it's a little bit easier to judge how you're gonna like the versions that we test out today. And I also want you to have this impression of how it looks in the snow. Now, obviously you can absolutely use this path in the winter as well. For me personally, I just wanted something a little bit more wintry and just something that blends in a little bit better with the snow, but obviously this is absolutely fine as well. So for each path that we test out, I'm just gonna walk like from my airport around a little bit so you can see all the different pieces in action, and then I'll also give you a few more detailed shots. I'm not going to touch too much on how to use the path. There are great tutorials out there for that. However, I do want to talk about one aspect real quick. It's that you actually can switch between different versions of the path really easily once you've implemented it once on your island. So what you do is you find the path that you like, put in the code, and then once you're here, you just need to make sure that you take whatever new design you have and overwrite the ones you have, and make sure that, for example, here, the top left corner is going to be the top left corner of your previous design as well. And that way, as you can see, it'll just overwrite the code. It won't remove it or anything else, so you don't have to place it down again. It'll just kind of replace it, and that way you can change out different versions in the exact type of pattern that you've used. We'll start with this red brick path that is kind of in the exact same shape as the original one. This path comes with all the necessary 9 pieces to implement the path, and it additionally also has some vertical and horizontal single path pieces, as well as this one patch of brick, which is great to add a bit more detail here or there. Please keep in mind that for this one, as well as for other ones, they might not necessarily look the greatest on my island just because I've chosen a theme that I'm going with and really haven't kind of incorporated them from the beginning, but they really do look great in other islands. This one, for example, I saw Teen Bean on Instagram use, and on her island, this is insanely beautiful. Like, just all the warm tones and the red really work together and looks so beautiful in like this market atmosphere that she's kind of created. And so I do believe that, especially with all the winter colors, this is a beautiful choice. The next version is the stone pavement with all the cute flowers in between that kind of look like speckles of snow. Now, the stone pavement comes with all the basic 9 pieces down here, and it also has these additional 2 single patches of stone just to, you know, add a bit more detail. And then it also comes with a few different design codes to use as single pathways, so you can also do very narrow pathways with this stone pavement. I found this version on a page that contains a lot of different versions of the path, which I'll also link down below, and I have to say that I really love it. I actually think the flowers look kind of like snow, which makes it blend in so nicely. The only thing that might slightly annoy me is that it's a very different shade to the stone patches that I'm using, but obviously those could be just swapped with the one that come with this version so that everything kind of fits together. But personally, I do really think that this is a beautiful path, and I really like the kind of singular stones that are kind of worked into this pathway. For the next version, we will be looking at a brick path in a white color. This white brick path comes with 15 pieces in total, where you can interchange some of them. Like for example, as a bottom left corner, you could either use this design or you can choose to use this one and have a bit more path going on. So just find the ones that you personally like and go ahead and create your own favorite version of this white brick path. Now this brick path definitely has a very different style compared to the original dirt path that I've been using, but I personally really like it. I actually kind of love how subtle it is, like how well it blends with the snow, because it really puts all the attention to all the beautiful decorations around it. And especially with, you know, the trees that have those lights and also all the illuminated items, it'll really be amazing. And I mean, to make it blend in even better, you could switch out the stones for equally white ones and just have very cohesive colors. This third brick path that we'll be looking at is a bit more muted in colors and has all the whites in between the stones. This version comes with all the necessary 9 pieces, and then additionally it also has these 3 designs that you might use to make it a little bit more versatile. This is another path that I just found on that website, and it was actually used in like summer, maybe spring, maybe fall, but definitely with green grass. And I just kind of thought that maybe it would look good with winter. And when I implemented this, I was actually blown away by how well it works together. If it weren't for my personal favorite, which we'll be getting to in a bit, this one would definitely be it. Like, I love how this looks. It just really looks like the single bricks are kind of frozen over and are just kind of snowed in, and it also works perfectly with everything around it. With this pink petal path, we'll be moving on to more fairycore themed versions. This path also comes with all the necessary 9 pieces to be able to use the path on your island. Now for this path, as well as the 2 following ones, I do want to say again that my island is just probably not the best place to showcase them, because I've personally chosen more darker colors and I've chosen the cottagecore theme in general. Therefore, fairycore items just might seem slightly out of place. However, I did find this path on Quackity's Instagram story, and she had implemented it with a lot of like pink flowers and just in a very fairycore environment, and it looked absolutely beautiful. And I also think that this path will just work beautifully in all the 4 different seasons. Next up, we have this dirt-shaped path in pink with sparkles all over. This version comes with 14 different pieces in total, which include all the basic 9 pieces needed to use the path, and it also has these additional pieces for the top corners as well as the bottom left corner, and also these 2 horizontal and vertical narrow pieces of path. Once again, I personally do think that it kind of looks out of place on my island. However, it does have the perfect shape because it definitely is like the original pathway, like the original dirt pathway. And in this bubblegum pink color with the sparkles all over, it can definitely fit into the fairycore theme. And I personally also think that the sparkles could kind of be snow maybe, and so that makes it perfect for winter time as well. I mean, just imagine this with like a lot of pink and like purple flowers and a lot of whimsical items. I think this would be very, very pretty. Number 7 is this cloud pathway with a pink border all around. This version comes with 12 pieces in total, which include all the basic 9 pieces, whereas the center one is this one with the heart-shaped hole, and then it also comes with this patch of a cloud and also these 2 horizontal and vertical single path coats. At first, I had placed the path down with these heart-shaped holes in the middle, but as you can see, when there is more than one of those pieces next to each other, it looks really, really weird. So what I did instead is I just went into my design codes and I erased the middle part just so that I would have a clear blank white design, and that fixed it like magic. And so here we have this cloud path. I personally really love, once again, that it's so subtle. Again, the pink with my island doesn't 100% work, but as you can see, the snow and the clouds kind of really work together. So if you have a fairycore theme and if you are going for these colors, this path might be the one for you. And next up, let's transition to a snowy path. Now this version of the path comes with the basic 9 pieces needed for the actual pathing, and it also has 2 other versions for the centerpiece, one with this hole in the middle and the other one with these sugar canes that you can also get by themselves, and this little snow single, so this little patch of snow or patch of ice that you can also use to kind of decorate and add a few more details. I have to say that this one is probably my absolute favorite, just because it's so simple and so kind of minimalistic that it really works so well with all the designs that I've put in, especially also with all the darker browns that I use in certain areas already, or for example my flea market and my Able Sisters, which are like basically pretty big areas already. It really doesn't take away from them, and I feel like it kind of just looks like I've kept the regular path and it's just now covered with snow, which I really like. And then if you look at it a little bit closer, I do really love the grain and all the little like details that you can see along the edges. Number 9 is another snowy path that is slightly different in shape. This second version of a snowy path comes with all the 9 pieces as well as a single patch of snow, and also there is an alternative middle piece with these adorable paw prints. This version I also really like. Now the main difference I think is that there are these patches around the edges that don't have snow on it, so the original floor kind of peeks through. And therefore it looks a bit more natural maybe. I think this would be amazing in like a foresty winter island, because it really just looks like there's piles of snow because the border is not as prominent as with the other one. Also for this one, I love the little snowflakes. And with this ornament path, we'll be diving into the Christmassy versions. This version of the path with the ornaments, sugar canes, and holly, as well as a snow border, comes with the basic 9 pieces, and it also gives you 2 additional options for the middle piece. So this one just has a bit more decorations, and this one has this snow patch in the middle. And it also comes with these horizontal and vertical single pathways, including these end pieces. So if you wanted to, you could even build very narrow pathways with this path right here. I think if you've searched at all for any Christmassy paths, then you've probably stumbled upon this, and not without reason, in my opinion. I love the color of the path, like the light brown version. It works so well with the bridge and also with the cliff color. It really kind of complements each other, I think. And then with all the details that this path brings, it definitely needs to be in this video. Even if for me, these Christmassy paths that I'll be showing you are kind of a bit too much with all the items and design codes I'm using, I still very much love it. All the details, the snowy border around it, it's amazing. For number 11, we'll be looking at this gingerbread path that also has a snowy border. This version comes with all the 9 pieces needed to implement the path, and it also has this additional middle piece with a gingerbread man instead of this like regular one. The gingerbread man is also available by itself, and it also again has some vertical and horizontal single path pieces. This is a Christmassy path that I've also seen around quite a few times already, and once again, I totally understand why. In this one, again, I love the brown. This time it's a very different brown than the previous one, but it still is very, very pretty. It's a bit more muted, which I think works really well for winter and all these like cooler tones that are going on right now. But still, it also works really nicely with all the pops of red that I have everywhere around this area, and I think that there will be a lot of red in a lot of islands just because, you know, Christmas is kind of around the corner. And once again, I'm absolutely impressed by all the amazing details. The talent that went into this path is incredible. Number 12, for lack of a better term, is this Christmas path. This path comes with all the 9 basic pieces needed for the path. I'm gonna be honest, I do have my reservations about this path for 2 reasons. Number 1, I think that the details are so clearly distinguishable that it's hard to place the same design code down twice without it being noticeable. And also number 2, I think that the color is a bit too saturated for the winter atmosphere, and it just kind of takes away from the decorations around it. Nevertheless, the talent again is incredible, and all the details, in my opinion, really need to be showcased. And as the last Christmassy path, we have this green candy cane version. This path comes with 10 pieces in total, whereas there are 2 different versions for the centerpiece. One of them has more of these like white patches and the other one has more candy canes. Once again, I think that there's quite a lot going on with this version of the path, but I kind of think it works. I love the contrast of this dark green against the snow. I do think that it can't be incorporated into every single island, like there are probably some that this doesn't work with, but personally, I love the way that this looks. And you can always switch between the 2 different centerpieces and make it a bit more different in the middle. But generally, I just love the grain on this, like all the shading, all the details, and little candy canes are really, really pretty. Number 14 is the path as an ice rink. This ice rink path comes with all the 9 needed designs for the path, and it also has this additional piece for the center with these 2 candy canes. Now this ice rink may not really be used as a path, so maybe it shouldn't be in this video. I still really wanted to show you because I think it's quite a cool design. And if you use some of the in-game pathings, you know, and you have enough space for this, then this could definitely make a cool ice rink. And I've also included some footage of me and this natural ice rink. And last but not least, we have this frozen pond version. This winter pond design comes with all the necessary 9 pieces to be able to use it as a path, and then also it has this additional centerpiece with this rock in the middle. Once again, not really a path, but definitely 100% worth mentioning. I think that the detail on this again is incredible. The edges kind of really look frosted, and then also I love the little rocks all around it. And here once again, I've included footage of an actual like ice rink or frozen pond. And there you have it, 15 versions of the path for winter and Christmas, from versatile to fairycore all the way to very, very Christmassy. I was definitely able to find one that I love and that I will continue to love while my island is covered in snow. I hope that you were too. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite, which one will you implement on your island. And if you know any other amazing path for this time of the year, then don't hesitate to drop the creator ID down in the comments. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, you're very welcome to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. And until then, I hope that you have an awesome, awesome day, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Bye!